Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to NerdPod Generations episode 195. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely L. Judson. And now you can see that he's the lovely L. Judson.
I'm here again. We're the camera's still up. We got our first review back. Hello, friends and
Yes.
saying I didn't think he would look like that.
Yes.
So the old adage about DJs holds true.
But it also makes me think you got to go to our website because there are pictures of us.
Yeah.
So you will see what we look like if you just go to, once again, nerdpodgen.com. That is nerdpodgen.com. And since this is episode 195, which I still can't believe I'm saying that.
Crazy, man.
That means there's 194 episodes of pure gold. So please go to nerdpodgen.com. On our main page, there is a link to the most recent podcast. But then there's also links to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time a new show comes out. And then on YouTube, starting last week, we are posting these video podcasts now.
I know.
Which is the first time you can actually see our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start the show off first to let everyone know that next week will be our last podcast for probably a month or two because we have summer coming up. We have a big announcement that we probably won't announce until either next week or even after we come back. But something big is happening in the Judson family that will be... It's all positive, folks.
It's all positive. It's all good news.
But it will take up a lot of time, especially over the month of July. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
But we will be back because this is 195, next week 196. So we're closing in on 200.
We're going to get to 200 before the end of the summer.
Oh, yeah.
I thoroughly believe that before the end of the summer we will get to 200 because that means that we're still back by August.
Yes. So assuming we'll still be back by August, but we will be taking a small hiatus, which we do every now and then.
Yes.
Especially, usually we'll take it around like the end of November for the Christmas holiday and all that.
I like to think of us as the USFL, not the USFL, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
The UFL, the current iteration.
Yes.
We are spring football. In all the seasons where other people are taking their breaks and are stepping away, that's when we get on stage. We are the backup act. We are the 13-year-old who's told to vamp on stage while they're redoing everything behind him. And he pulls out a guitar,
Yes,
and it's like,
that is us.
That's us. That's
a good
us.
analogy.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing that. Just wanted to let everyone know and heads up on that. We do like to start every show, though, with a little segment we like to call What Have We Been Watching, Playing, Reading. I want to start real quick. I don't know if this is my brain chemistry now or just the state of modern TV. So because we have been watching Vox Machina and there's another show called The Mighty Nine, which is great, we're going to be talking about in a later episode. I did spring for the extra $5 on Amazon to get rid of the ads.
It's worth
it.
It's worth it.
I absolutely had to.
Yeah.
But because of that, I'm like, well, let me revisit Fallout Season 2.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch Fallout Season 2.
Made it through another one episode, and it's like, no.
It's not any better?
It's not hitting. No.
Is it Power Armor Boy still?
No, he's actually better in this season.
Really?
It's just blah. There's nothing exciting or punchy. It kind of falls on the same tropes where it's like, let's have a gruesome kill, or let's have the ghoul say something cool or look cool, and let's have I think her name's Lucy. Lucy. Let's have Lucy just be so dumb and so sweet. It's like, I'm tired of that.
I think she might actually be Lucy McLean. Or something close to it.
It's something in that.
Maybe it's because her dad is Kyle MacLachlan.
Well, that could be too.
Yeah.
So I gave that a chance. I'm like, nah. But then I also recently I did a brief trial membership of Apple TV because luckily, even though you've done trial memberships in the past, if it's been long enough, they'll let you do another one.
Nice.
And there's a show that I've heard great things about called Margo's Got Money Troubles.
I've been meaning to watch this.
Elle
Fanning.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the level of nudity in this show?
It wasn't that big a deal.
Okay.
Like, it's nudity.
Yeah.
It's not done maliciously. Like, it's not done.
She's a cam girl. It's part of the story.
But it's also like in the first episode, it shows her how she gets pregnant with this professor of hers, and you're like, all right.
Who I think is the kid from Sky High.
He is this kid from Sky High, and he looks just like he was.
Yeah, he
in
hasn't
that
aged. His hair's a little wispier, but that's.
But it was okay. Yeah. Like it takes too long to get to where it's going in a lot of places that it kind of bored me.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then I thought, okay, maybe it's just me. Because, like, I really wanted to see that show because I heard great things. And I kind of was bored by it. So I said, you know what? There's another great show that might be more in my wheelhouse. The show that everyone's talking about called Widow's Bay. And it's kind of like a Stephen King type of show.
Who's in that one?
It doesn't really have any big names.
Okay.
But it takes place, like, I've only made it through the first episode. It takes place on this island. And it's kind of like, imagine a Stephen King story like The Mist and put Jaws in it, and that's what this is.
Okay.
And the only reason I say Jaws is because you have the mayor is trying to get this reporter to come to write about the town to build up tourism, but then all these things start happening and people want to close a restaurant, they want to close this, and he's like, no, don't, you got to keep things open. So that's where you kind of get the Jaws thing.
Okay.
But, like, even that, I'm like, this is just taking so long. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's, like, I want to say it's me because I've been, the media I've been ingesting lately has been a little bit more exciting. And it's been keeping my attention more. But then I'll go back and watch older TV shows that are slower, older movies that are slower, and I'm still into those.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's...
the story and the writing.
Story and the writing and the pacing.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I'm having a hard time with nowadays, is the pacing is not great.
The pacing has slowed down because there seems to be, at least in my experience, this, like, need to stretch everything out. Especially, like, granted... Most of my current TV watching is Marvel, where that's like all they do. It's like a taffy pull where they just like hook it up and pull and hook it up and pull. And it's like this storyline could have been done in 3 minutes and instead it's 4 episodes. And it's the fucking therapist. It's, you know, Vanessa Fisk. It's all these storylines that are just like, is this a good storyline or is this a taffy pull storyline where there's nothing here and you just keep on trying to get something out of it. I feel like that's the case. That's been the case with some Netflix shows. That's been the case with definitely some Amazon shows for me. There have been several Amazon shows. That was the problem with Jack Ryan season 3 and To Degrees season 2 was just like these storylines where you're just like, is this like, this seems like we're taking a really long time to get here. And in the case of something like Vox Machina, which we're going to talk about today, one of the episodes we're going to talk about is a heist episode. The episode before that ends on like kind of this like big reveal cliffhanger type thing. And you're like, whoa, what? And it starts up and the next episode is the end of the heist. And you're like, did I miss something?
I thought I missed an episode.
I literally went back and was like, was there an episode that I missed? What am I doing? And so it's like, if the story and the characters are compelling enough.
Yes.
The moments, because it felt like at the end of one episode we were going to immediately move into the next big thing. And in a way we did, but it was so circuitous in how we got there that it literally made me, you know, pull out of the episode and check and make sure, like, hey, which would theoretically break Burger's first law.
Yes.
That show keeps you hooked the entire time, whereas some of these other shows, you know, there are moments where you're like, oh, I thought we were going to go straight to XYZ, but instead we've now decided that in order to get to XYZ, we have to pull off and go get, you know, PQR over here, and that's going to take us to this place, and that's going to take us to this place, and then 3 episodes later, we're finally going to get to the spot that we talked about 3 episodes ago.
Well, and I'm wondering if this is just a byproduct of streaming services to where when it was on network TV and you had 1 episode a week, you had to keep people's attention.
Yeah. Because they would click away.
They would click away, and they would not come back because if they missed a couple episodes, there was no way for them back then to actually go back and watch them until they got rerun either during the summer or the following year.
You miss 3 episodes of ER, you're done.
Oh, you're done. Exactly. Yeah. You miss any bit of the storyline. And we're here, it's like, well, you could just go back and rewatch. Kind of what I did with Fallout because I had started on season 2, and the commercials being so frequently is what lost me.
Yeah.
But then I also remember the storyline didn't really have me. So I was like, all right. And then when I went back this time, I'm like, now that the commercial's gone, see if it's different. No, it's still, it just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
And I think the pacing is the big thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it really stands out now.
Yeah. Going back to something like Invincible, that was something that I noticed on rewatch, what you're talking about, is like the moments that felt slow to me in Invincible in the initial. Made more sense once you had more context to them.
Yes.
But unfortunately, on a show like Fallout, the context comes so slowly. Like, you think about the kind of drip rate. at which we got information. And even then, we still didn't get all the information. Like, we get a big flag that says New California Republic, and that's it. Like, we don't know anything else about it. Meanwhile, we go into vaults, and we're going around places, and we're meeting this weird kid who's getting turned into a ghoul. And it's just like, is any of this important? Is any of this the whole thing with the armored brotherhood, the whole thing, like, is any of this important?
Yeah.
None of this feels important. It feels like there's something else way more interesting over there. And instead, I'm just stuck running around with these chickens that are supposed to be keeping my attention, but I don't care about that. I want to know what's over there.
Yeah.
And, Attack on Titan, when they would have those moments where it's like, oh, there's chickens, this is the problem right now, even though there's this big mystery over there, the chickens were still so compelling that you were like, I want to know what's over there, but I have to resolve this first. This is just like, okay, all right, let me get you, okay, and I'll pick up this one, okay, and then I'll get, it's nothing.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree. After the TV, I was like, I kind of got down on it, and I'm like, well, let me go back into my movie back catalog, which, for those of you who have been listening, I have been rewatching my movie catalog. And I decided on an old favorite, which it's been a minute since I've watched it. And yes, I'm old. I got my glasses. The Adventures of Buckaroo Bonzai Across the 8th Dimension.
Hell yes. I was just talking to my dad
about this movie.
Holy shit. I was just talking to my dad about this movie.
Okay, so folks, for those of you who don't know, Buckaroo Bonzai is played by Peter Weller, a.k.a. RoboCop. He is a adventurer, brain surgeon, scientist, rock musician, samurai who travels the country with his group of Hong Kong Cavaliers, which are musicians, scientists, and fighters.
And none of them are Asian.
The doctor that he works with is Asian. The only one.
Yes. The Doc Brown character.
The Doc Brown character. But the cast in this, okay, Peter Weller, John Lithgow, Dr. Emilio Lazar, who is incredible.
I could talk about him and Big Booty.
Oh my god. So good. Ellen Barkin.
Speaking of
Jeff Goldblum.
Doc Brown.
Christopher Lloyd. Lewis Smith as Perfect Tommy, which is still... Perfect Tommy is just the greatest name. So it's Robert Ito as Professor Hikita. Ronald Lacey is the president who's in Traction. And those of you who don't know, he's the guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark who has the hanger that he pulls out. He plays the president in Traction, which blew my mind. I forgot about it. Let's not forget about Clancy Brown. Carl Lumley, a.k.a. from Alias and also Martian Manhunter.
And he was also in Fall of the House of Usher.
Exactly. Vincent Schiavelli, who, for those of you who don't know, the movie Ghost, he's the ghost that Patrick Swayze runs into in the subway, who teaches him. But he's been in a million different movies. He was, which James Bond was it? Tomorrow Never Dies, which I actually really liked. He's the hitman that goes to kill James Bond, and they have such a funny interaction. Yeah. I just absolutely love that guy. Dan Hedaya, who's a very big...
He shows up as one of the Daves. Or Johns, one of the Johns.
One of the Johns. He's one of the bad guy Johns. It is the most batshit crazy fucking movie. I love this thing so... Like, it is pretty much the epitome of what you would call a great bad movie.
This is the ultimate cult film.
Oh, yes.
This is the ultimate cult film because, like, there are just moments that make no fucking sense. And they don't stop, and they don't apologize, and they barely bring attention to it. I'm looking at you, double-decker couch guy that sells them, like, fucking used cars. I'm looking at you, watermelon in the middle of a vice that Jeff Goldblum walks past and says, is that a watermelon? And then just keeps going. Yeah. I'm talking about Jeff Goldblum being a brain surgeon from New Jersey, dressed as a cowboy, full on with fucking spats, with like tassels and spurs and a giant hat.
And the part that really jumped out at me, and I forgot about this, so there are like volunteers who are part of his group. And one set of volunteers is a dad and his like 8-year-old son who rescue him. But then they go on a mission to infiltrate the alien, or I shouldn't even say alien, interdimensional species lair. And the kid has a machine gun, and he's going in with them. And I'm like, holy fuck. And he kills a bunch of the bad guys.
It's crazy.
It's insane. And then, probably the craziest thing. So, spoiler on a movie that's from 1984. So, what is that? 42 years old.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown's character gets killed.
Yes. Like, midway through. He get fridged.
He does. But then the ending of the fucking movie is the greatest credit scene in the history of movies because it makes no fucking sense.
It's the best.
So
rhythmic walking is the best.
They are. So it starts with just Buckaroo, and then he's just walking. Like it looked like a empty reservoir in like Los Angeles or something.
That's exactly what it is.
And he's walking, and then slowly the rest of the cast, the good guys, start filling in behind him, and that's the credits. Is them walking and like turning corners,
walking to the beat of the song.
Clancy Brown's character shows back up. Jeff Goldblum in his cowboy outfit, and it's fucking insanity.
All the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Yeah, all of them.
Isn't Ellen Barkin a princess or something?
No,
in this?
her name is Penny Princess.
That's it.
And so he's putting on so he's doing brain surgery and then goes in the quickest cut from one scene to another, goes from brain surgery to a rocket car because him and the scientists have recreated a way to do interdimensional travel.
What's the flux capacitor has a name in this? I can't remember what it is.
It looks just like the flux capacitor too. And then after he gets done like traveling into another dimension, he goes to put on a rock concert to where the venue guy's like screaming at him like he's this no-name fucking musician.
Why are you here?
Yeah, and then he goes in. During the concert, this Ellen Barkin's character's crying, and so he puts the spotlight on her and says her name is Penny Princess, and everyone laughs at her. And so he starts singing a song to her, and as he's singing to her, she puts a gun to her head, and a waitress walks by, hits her arm, so she shoots the gun in the ceiling. All of the Hong Kong Cavaliers drop their instruments and pull out machine guns. Yeah. And then she gets put into jail, but then since she is the dead ringer of his former girlfriend who died, he brings her out of jail, and then now she's his girlfriend.
Insane.
It's fucking nuts.
It's insane. The logic of it is never there. It never stops for a logical moment.
Good in every... The performances are fucking spectacular.
The internal logic of the movie makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when you're watching it voyeuristically and you don't have necessarily a background for all of the things that are happening, and so you're just kind of subjected to things as they happen. I'll never get over the moment when we call the president and he's in traction. Yeah. And he's like being held upside down in a machine because of his spine. And you're
the whole movie he's in traction.
Yeah, and you're just like, what is happening?
There's no explanation.
There's an alien calling him and he's in traction, and there's never a moment where this is going on, where this is described. Yeah. The whole thing with the Johns, all the Johns, the aliens.
Every alien's named John.
Yep. They all have different last names, but they're all named John. But Christopher Lloyd plays John Big Booty, or Big Booty, as he insists.
Big Booty.
Nice try, Monkey Boy.
Oh, that's the best line.
Phrases.
Nice to try, Monkey Boy.
I just like I love this movie in like that. Like, what am I watching kind of way?
In John Lithgow, mind you, folks, Rochester native John Lithgow, born in Rochester, New York, born here.
Hell yeah.
He is like, it's an Oscar caliber performance. That's how he is so out of his fucking mind.
Mike Ehrmantraut is in this movie. From Breaking Bad, Mike, bald.
Oh yeah, he's the one that he kills.
He's the orderly at the beginning. Everybody is in this movie. Yeah. Like everybody is in this movie,
and it's, oh my god, it's fucking. So, there's a scene in this movie that I fucking love more than life itself. They're putting on a press conference where they're trying to explain what's going on, and Buckaroo gets a phone call from what he believes is the president.
Yes.
But it's not the president. No. It's the good interdimensional aliens calling from space, and it's kind of the Men in Black thing where you end up finding out later they're going to destroy the Earth if they don't.
It's the Lectroids.
Yeah,
right?
Or not destroy the Earth. They're going to do an EMP that will destroy all technology and pretty much send the Earth back to the Stone Age. When he picks up the phone, it electrocutes him.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the glasses in They Live.
Yeah.
Where he can see the alien now. But the way he acts, the way Peter Weller acts, like, first he's twitching on the ground. And then he asks for a pen, and he's writing down this formula, and then he runs out, and he screams, yeah! But the acting is so over the top.
Yeah.
And the professor when they get down to brass tacks and the professor gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so he gets on a motorcycle and chases after the professor. When he rescues the professor, oh my God, I love this scene so much. The professor's like, he goes, you need to get back to the headquarters and you need to figure out this equation. And the professor's like, well, how do I know this equation? He licks his hand, slaps it on his forehead, and the equation on his forehead. And I'm like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. Greatest movie I've ever seen. I was like, this is the best fucking thing. And I cannot stress enough, if you've not seen this movie, you've got to watch the movie knowing that you are going to watch pure insanity.
It's an acid trip. It is
beyond.
You feel like you're tripping balls at times in this because you'll see things and you'll just be like, what was that? Wait. That thing that was happening. What happened with that thing? Go back. And it's just like, but that's everything in this movie.
Yeah.
The Electroids have everything that they need because Ellen Barkin has the flux capacitor in her purse, which is the thing that they're looking for, and they capture her, and they just never look in her bag.
They don't look in her purse.
So they have no idea that they already have what they need.
The Secretary of Defense, who's your typical, I'm a douchebag military guy, goes storming into their headquarters, which is an alien headquarters, because they supposedly were going to build him a weapon.
Yeah.
So he, storms into the alien side of it, not really knowing what the fuck's going on. And they have Ellen Barkin on a table, and Christopher Lloyd's character is setting up this alien creature that looks like it is a slow-moving slug from the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And he's setting it up, and the Secretary of Defense is just like, you promised me a weapon. And he's surrounded by all this nonsense. He's like...
Never pauses for a second.
Never
pauses for a second.
Never's like, what's going on? This is alien?
That moment where Jeff Goldblum calls out the watermelon is like the only moment where anyone internally within the movie notes something happening and says, wait a minute, what about that thing? Otherwise, everything is just totally normal to everybody. It's just a normal Tuesday. This is how every day goes for them. And you're just like, small dog yips. Yeah. Wow, big news. And it's just, I can't get over it.
One of the story threads that I love, though, that is so ingenious and so fucking brilliant, is the bad aliens got to Earth in the 1930s. Yeah. And the way they explained how they got to Earth without anyone knowing is, so for those of you who are unaware, Orson Welles and a group of people on the radio did a telling of War of the Worlds. And everyone believed it was true. Yep. And everyone thought we were getting invaded by aliens. And then they came out and said, no, it's just a radio show.
It was on Halloween.
So the storyline behind this is, these aliens, when they landed, it legitimately was what Orson Welles was calling out. But then they brainwashed him and he said, no, it's just a radio show. Mm-hmm. I was like, dude, this is just chef's kiss.
Well, I just love the moment when... Emilio Lizardo is first experimenting with the prototype flux capacitor. And he's just a guy. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah, with a terrible Italian accent.
And then he goes through a wall, and he comes out, and goes, and he just, the decorum has changed so graciously.
But I love that, too, because, in the beginning, you see this rocket car where Buckaroo Bonzai is going, hundreds of miles an hour to be able to make this move, where Lazaro's in a chair going 2 miles an hour down this little thing, and somehow half of his body gets shot through the other dimension, and I'm like, this is insane.
Oh my God.
Insane, but God, it's so good.
My favorite story from this that has nothing to do with the movie, but something to do with the movie, is that when he's first testing the flux capacitor, he puts on a headband.
Yes.
Kind of like a Japanese-style headband. Apparently, they made a bunch of those as promotional materials.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And nobody liked this movie when it first came out. Oh. And so, those are E.T. level gold.
Dude, I would die for one of those.
If you can find one, it's insane. Can you imagine? But I love this movie because it is just so absurd. All the way through, it's so absurd. They get into the alien spaceship, and the electroid that is helping them is more willing to let Buckaroo Bonzai fly this ship that he's never been in before than to even try. And it's just what is going on with this? I love this. This is so stupid. Every moment in it is just so ridiculous and over the top. Yeah. And it's just, I just love it. I just love this movie.
It's chef's kiss.
It's great.
I'm so grateful that I pulled this out, and I'm like, It made me smile from ear to ear for a very long time.
That was one of those movies that my parents showed me when I was like 15. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Why do they like this so much? This is so juvenile. This is so stupid. I don't get it. What's going on? None of it makes sense. And then you watch it again and you're like, oh.
Totally get it.
I get it. I got it. I figured it out.
It's meant to be fucking insane.
It's meant to be crazy. Yeah. The other idea that I heard somebody talk about when they were reviewing this is that they want this to be remade with Keanu Reeves as Buckaroo Bonzai now.
See, I don't think it would work.
You don't think so?
That was the one thing that it really stuck to me was the casting in this movie. I was thinking who could do these other parts. I can't imagine anyone else playing these roles.
Yeah.
Like Peter Weller was the perfect, because this was in his heyday, so he was, that Hollywood good-looking actor, but he was also kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And he was perfect. Every casting was perfect in this.
Yeah.
I really don't know who they would get to play Lithgow's part.
No, I know, right?
Who the fuck could they get to do that?
But that's the other thing, is that this is one of those movies that classically falls into the old trope of Buckaroo Bonzai will return in Buckaroo Bonzai versus the world.
Oh my
whatever
God,
it
yes.
is. And it's just can you imagine if in 2028 they come out with Buckaroo Bonzai versus the World Bank or whatever that story was called? It's I would totally be into it though.
Yeah.
I would go.
A lot of the cast is still alive.
Especially if it was animated. Especially if it was
Oh
animated.
my God.
So you can really get crazy about it.
See, I know this is completely nuts. I would love to see a Team America World Police version of it
with marionettes.
Oh, I think that would be perfect. Hear that, South Park guys? Do a sequel with the marionettes. You know how to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else is doing marionette art right now?
Nah, not many.
Who else?